Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join us here. My name is Andy Frisky. I'm a senior dream curator with DreamBank. I guess we'd like to get started. I always pull the audience, and if you're comfortable in doing so, please go ahead and share where you're tuning in from. Love to see, obviously the variety of folks are here and where people are from. But a little bit about DreamBank for those of you who might not be familiar. So DreamBank is put on by American Family Insurance, and American Family Insurance believes that communities are stronger and futures are brighter when people are actively pursuing their dreams. And that's why DreamBank was created. It's an inspirational digital destination and digital experience, that is dedicated to dreamers everywhere. Our offerings are designed to help you celebrate the dream journey, overcome obstacles, and to stay motivated. And like I mentioned at the beginning, very excited for this DreamBank veteran speaker at this time, Lisa Koenecke. Lisa, I'm gonna go ahead and kick it over to you. Take it away.
That is fantastic. Thank you, Andy. I am so excited to be here. I am excited to see all of you, especially my new friend, Marie from the United Kingdom. So Marie, I actually have something for you, not a gift, but you'll be in the presentation. So whether you are local, whether you are not local, again, so excited. One thing that I will start with and preface is that this, my friends, is a Wisconsin accent. So no need to adjust any of your volume or anything like that, but a born and bred Wisconsin accent is what you are getting. And I am delighted to be here. I was just talking with Andy, and my whole career started at DreamBank. So this is like a homecoming for me, and delighted to say that I have now, in my 2 years of my business, I have reached all 50 states, and I am probably at 8 countries right now virtually. So very, very, very wonderful to be here. Happy Pride to those of you who celebrate. At any time, my friends, if you do have questions, I have the chat up. I have your virtual hands up. If you have your cameras on, you can do one of these too, because that's super fun. I was a middle school counselor. Nothing phases me. So again, whatever you need to do, want to do, unless you're in the bathroom, then we don't need to share anything there. So that being said, my friends, I am going to give you lots of resources. And for some of you, they might be new. For some of you, they might not be. But again, do feel free to even share stories. If you're like, Lisa, I have this experience or I have this question, that's what I'm here for. The other thing that I would love to do is if you do have any other questions beyond that, right now I am putting in my email address into the chat. So, well, let's see, Lisa Koenecke at Gmail. It's not capitalized. One moment, gmail.com. For those of you who are watching this recording, maybe later on, good morning, good evening, good day, whatever time you are watching this, delighted to be here. So I am, so I mentioned I was a middle and a high school counselor, and at night I am a professor. By day, I am a speaker, and I have a degree from Cornell University. During my plight to become a certified diversity practitioner, I learned about land acknowledgements. And I am so honored to start every presentation I have, doesn't matter what the subject is, with a land and a territory acknowledgement. Now, because I have many of you joining me from all over, which is wonderful, I love the different states, the different cities, etc., I will give you my land acknowledgement to let you know that currently I am just outside of Madison, Wisconsin, which is in the south central part of the state. And I am on the land of the Ho-Chunk Nation. And in Wisconsin, we have 11 indigenous tribes. So I'm coming to you from the Ho-Chunk Nation. Another thing that I would love to let you know is, as for accessibility, I am a very fun, energetic female speaker with short hair. I'm wearing a blue shirt and I have a lot of rainbows in my background. So if you are not able to see me, that's what you're looking at, my friends. So again, a land acknowledgement from the land of the Ho-Chunk Nation, and just paying homage to the people who have come before us. And with that being said, I love to bring forward the term Two-Spirit. Maybe some of you have heard of it. Maybe some of you haven't. For those of you who, I don't see anyone from Canada, but if you are Canadian, or if you, oh my gosh, hello, April. Okay, this is just too fun. And Squirrel, can you come off mute for a second, please? You're not in trouble.
Of course.
Hi, are you joining us from Canada?
I am. I'm from Winnipeg, Manitoba, central Canada.
Oh, I just got goosebumps. Okay, this is so exciting because in my presentations, I usually say this, that two-spirit, especially in Canada, is written out with the two and the S. And yeah. Okay, so April, that is wonderful. Welcome to the show. So
Thank you.
are
happy to be here.
Yay. Oh my gosh, another friend from Ontario. So hello, Canada. We're glad that you are here. So again, when you see all the letters written out and then the number 2S, especially in Canada, that means two-spirit. And I'm not going to play this video for you. However, I have the screenshot of my friend Geo Neptune. And Geo Neptune is two-spirit, indigenous, and uses the pronouns they, them. So if you want to, maybe not during the presentation, maybe after the presentation, cool. You can go ahead and you can look up Geo Neptune on YouTube, and Geo will give you the background, the history of being two-spirit. The thing on the right that I have is a two-spirit flag. Now, I have this to show you some inclusivity in the LGBT world. What makes it two-spirit would be the eagle feathers. In addition to the eagle feathers, and I will actually show you a little bit more about where the other things came from for the flag, but this flag includes our Black and Indigenous people of color. That's the brown and the black stripe, our friends who are trans, the blue and the pink, and our friends who are questioning, and then the original Roy G. Biv. Oh, and by the way, there's no test. Okay, good. So for those of you who were nervous, no test, you're welcome, even though I'm a professor. Now, here's what's fun. Why do we celebrate Pride? Thanks for asking. Okay, so we celebrate Pride because there was this little thing called a riot that happened at the Stonewall Inn in Greenwich Village, June 28th, 1969. So this is in New York City. And at that time, it was legal for cops to come in and raid gay bars. And on this night, June 28, 1969, the people in the bar had it. So there were three prominent people who fought back, who kind of are in our folklore, so to say. We've got Stormy, we've got Marcia, and we've got Sylvia. And they fought back. And the thing about this too is that I am able to have this presentation and give this presentation to you because of the people that I just mentioned and those who have come before me. So I know that I stand on shoulders of many, many trailblazers. And what I'm excited about is to be able to give all of you information that you can take and you can blaze your own trail to make your business, your community safe and inclusive for all. So that's why we celebrate Pride, is because of the Stonewall riots. Now, for those of you who have seen me before, you might recognize this, but the story never gets old. For those of you who are new, excited you're here because yes, that is a picture of a beaver and a lady in a tiara. Okay, I'll let you guess which one is which. Oh, well, let's start with the one on the left. That is the beaver. And if you are ever in nature, I want you to be safe. But if you notice by the left foot of the beaver, there's a Cheerio. So anytime you're in nature, my friends, if you want to make a beaver smile, just throw Cheerios. Okay, there we go. Done and done. So I grew up in Reedsburg, Wisconsin, hour north of the Madison area. Our school mascot, we were the Beavers. I was our school mascot. Yep, true story. In addition to being the school mascot, I was also homecoming queen. Oh, royalty, circa 1987. Now, this takes me back to my friend living across the pond. And I just want to say, Marie, I wanted to be part of the Platinum Jubilee, but, I guess her slate was full and she couldn't fit me in. So, but just letting you know that if I were there, I would wave like this. Anyway, all I'm trying to tell you, my friends, is that 1987 was a wonderful year for a Farrah Fawcett hairdo. That's what that was. Lisa in a dress doesn't happen a lot. And I was Queen Beaver or Beaver Queen. I mean, however you want to look at it, that's what it was. The salute. So if we have any school mascots out there, any royalty, however you describe that, welcome to the show. Growing up in Reedsburg, Wisconsin, population 5,000, one stoplight, one fast food restaurant. The biggest difference, you were either Lutheran or you were Catholic. If you were Methodist, you weren't even in the conversation. So I was raised Lutheran. I was forbidden to date a Catholic boy, but they never said anything about a Catholic girl. Hey, Angela, will you come off and just give a wave? There's the lovely, there's my wife, there's the Catholic girl I married. Oh, lovely. So now, with that being said, let's jump back into flags, shall we? Because it's also, we just celebrated Flag Day a couple days ago. The original flag right here, you may or may not know this, 1978, Gilbert Baker, San Francisco, was actually commissioned by Harvey Milk. So Harvey said, hey, Gilbert, can you make a flag? Gilbert said, yeah. I don't know if that was their conversation, but the original flag is in the upper left-hand corner. Then it got too hard to find the pink material. So we have kind of the Roy G. Biv on here. Then upper right corner, 2017, City of Philadelphia. Thank you. Anyone out there from Philly? Hey, shout out Philly. We got Canada. We got the United Kingdom. How about Philly? There we go. And maybe I say your name, Monique. I want to say that correctly. Is that correct, my friend? Yes, nodding. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Are you in Philly or are you from Philly, my friend? You're there. Okay, fantastic. Excellent. Well, thank you for what you did for us, my friend, whether it was you or just your friends, I don't know. But you added the black and the brown stripes to our rainbow flag to include the QT BIPOC community, the queer and trans, Black and Indigenous people of color. Then Daniel Quasar, 2018, that would have been something. 2018 said, hey, let's do some more. This is cool. So Daniel took the black and brown and made it a chevron. That's what that fancy little arrow thing is called, to include the BIPOC community. Also added the blue and the pink to include our trans friends, as well as the white for those who are questioning and those who have died of AIDS. Then 2021, June, just of last year, I might say this incorrectly, so if anyone is here from Italy, here we go. Valentino Valencio, you can Google it if you want to, said, hey, let's add intersex into the pride flag. And so we all got together, we voted. I'm just kidding. No one called me to vote, but that's our new flag that we have now, which includes our friends who are intersex. What's that? Thanks for asking. That's when a baby is born. Dr. or doula takes a look at the baby, hard to determine from the external genitalia how to assign a sex. I'll get to the how to do this in the business. I'm just letting you get all the background information here. Looks at a baby, hard to determine because sex is assigned at birth, not gender. So baby would be intersex because hard to determine, external, sometimes internal as well. There are more babies born intersex than those who are born with cleft palates. That is a fact. And one thing that I hope you take away from this presentation is you never ask anybody about their junk. Okay, so with no junk asking, we're going to get into another new term that I want you to be familiar with. 3 out of 10 of us know someone who is transgender, not transgendered, transgender. And the new term is assigned female at birth or assigned male at birth. Now, if you are in the HR world, this might be coming into your space already. And it's in the last couple of years. So if you have known anyone who has transitioned, they might have been M to F. They transitioned male to female or F to M, female to male. Now the term is that I, Lisa Koenecke, I was assigned female at birth. So I would be considered, and I identify as a female, so I am cisgender. CIS means it's Latin for on the same side. I know there's a lot of information. Thanks for sticking with me. Okay. And I'll get to the picture in just a second. So this is fun. So I was assigned female at birth. My brother was assigned male at birth. And it's just something that's out there now that, again, you might be seeing coming into your paperwork, etc., whatever you might have. I would invite those of you who are watching this recording, you can send me an email later, but for those of you who are live, please, I would love for you in the chat to put in there, what do you or did you call your parents' parents? So I see my friend Lorenzo has this look. So Lorenzo, here's my example. So I had grandma and grandpa. That's what I had. Oh, abuelita, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Excellent. Oh, nanny and granddad, mama and papa. I'm wondering if you were from the South, my friend. I am just going to look real quick. Yeah, mama and papa. Angel, did you grow up in the South or are you from just Southern Wisconsin? Yes, in the South. Oh,
Sorry,
that's
I grew up in Louisiana, so,
okay.
but I'm living in Arizona now.
Oh my gosh, thank you for that. Jenna has ma, abuela, dada, it looks like. And then Jenna, how do you pronounce the fourth one that you've listed there? This is fascinating to me. Is it Didima? Got some nanas, Gramps, Poppy. Ooh, Grand Mirror and Grand Pier. Eve, that is fabulous and fancy. Well, here's what I want to say to you, my friends, is that was normal. That was growing up, right? No one ever corrected you on things. And so as we are moving on in the trans world, more people are going to know their true selves and their identity. And I will let you know that Lady Gaga made a song and we're born this way. Thank you, Eve. I was wondering if you were French. And so, très bien. That's as much as I can. Coco can speak more French for me. Okay, so assigned female at birth, assigned male at birth. We've got the grandparents covered, whatever term you used for them. Now we get into stats. Why statistics? Because it's important, my friends. You are here to make your business go, grow, etc. So, according to Deloitte, 83% of millennials are more engaged when they think their company fosters an inclusive culture. Now, I do have more information for you when we're talking about pipeline as well, because as we have the Great Resignation happening, you may or may not have to hire new people. And I'm 53, I'm a Gen Xer. I don't know if you want to hire me. I'm just saying. Okay, but I'm good. All right. Then the other statistic that we have here, my friends, and this is true for Angela and myself, 38% of respondents said that they are more likely to consume products and services from brands that show diversity in their ads. And 34% have boycotted a company at least once, which I have. Mine's 100% on my boycott, just to let you know. I will give you examples of that in a little bit. And I'm hoping no one from those companies are here. But if you are, how fun would it be that we could have a conversation and be like, hi, why do you hate me? I don't know that I'll do that, but because this is DreamBank, it's not the Lisa Koenecke show. Okay, so that's one thing to know. This is even more important in my opinion. Yep. Our purchasing power, my friends, that says 3 trillion. I have research, I have statistics that say 3.7 trillion. The gays got the money. Okay. So that's why this is important. If you're like, I must go to this presentation because I need to learn about the purchasing power of the LGBT world. Well, there you go. There's your ROI, your return on investment. Now, I, Lisa Koenecke, do not have $3.7 trillion just laying around, but I will let you know that our dog gets kibble and then that's all we spend our money on, nieces and nephews, but that is important. So I am going to halt right there and see if there are any questions that anyone has. You can either do one of these, you can do a wave, or you can put it into the chat. Thus far, questions or comments?
Are we allowed to come off mute for a question?
I love that you are coming off mute and asking a question. Yes, go, my friend.
Thank you. Lisa, I'm sorry, and I'm eating, so that's why I'm not on camera, but so if you hear me munching a little bit,
You
I'm
do you.
curious how this is going to change and increase, because what I'm looking at now through diversity, equity, and inclusion lenses within LGBTQ families, we look different, right? So like me and my husband, we're talking about children and we're not really set on it yet. We have friends that are actively in the works of adopting or having their own children biologically. And so this is, I'm sure, going to exponentially increase this amount, because now my fur babies that get really spoiled, right? Now, if we have children, we're still, I mean, that'll still continue, but now you have the fact of the families looking more diverse. You're growing, as society has changed. And I'm wondering what your thoughts are on that, or what stats say about that.
Absolutely. And I'm hoping that that was Larry who was asking me a question. Is that correct, Larry?
It is, yes, Lisa.
Good. Now finish your lunch, my friend, or whatever you were doing. Again, middle school counselor, nothing phases me. So you do you.
Thank you.
So to answer Larry's question, which is wonderful. So the answer is yes, especially when it comes to families. So much so that I've been asked by health companies to give them the correct language for how do we provide care, whether it's maternal care, but like birthing care to someone who maybe was assigned female at birth who has transitioned. And what is that terminology? So Larry, to let you know that there are some people who are very progressive who are out there when it comes to the health needs of how different families are going to look. The other thing that I will add into this too is that there are more adoption agencies who are understanding that it doesn't have to be a man and a female, male and a female to adopt. So that's something else to consider. And in your businesses, let's say that you do have a baby shower or something like that. Great. Then also have an adoption shower, also have a foster care shower, whatever it might be, because it doesn't always have to be those who procreate. Okay, then moving into, I'm also very, very keenly aware of policies. And with that being said, working with SHRM, the Society for Human Resource Management, and making sure, and they actually have phenomenal resources on how to make your policies inclusive, rather than calling it maybe maternal or paternal leave, maybe you call it family leave. Maybe you call it custodial leave, something along those lines, because maybe it's that you need to care for a sibling who is whatever it might be. So there are lots of different things that come into that. So Larry, I will tell you that as long as we don't get litigated against, that's a whole nother presentation is what I'll be talking about with the Supreme Court. Okay. Then hopefully we will have people who are out there advocating for us. And that's where we get into the HRC, Human Rights Campaign. They are out there lobbying, legislating for us. And Larry, I can give you lots more family information on that, but I'm glad that you brought that up. And with that being said, I have a question in the chat from my friend Tim. Tim, we are going to get into pronouns, so I hope you can hold off for that one. That's wonderful. And thanks to, wow, Tim, that was super speedy. Good job. Thank you for being so nice to me. Okay. And then Jennifer says, I live in a liberal city in a conservative state. Oh, yes. And the foster to adopt route to parenthood is definitely open to our families. Yay, that's wonderful. I also have a friend named Paige Knipfer who has a very, very friendly adoption agency here in Wisconsin. So happy to help with that. So excellent. All right, Tim, we will get to you in just a moment. So let's get through talking about finding some talent. All right, so these are some fun resources for you to think about when it comes to inclusive language. Maybe you're already doing this, my friends, but these are things that you can change. Rather than saying ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals, how about colleagues? Hello, team. I mean, if you work, and I was an educator, it could be hello, you little beavers, but don't do that unless your school mascot, right, was a beaver. Okay, I just wanted to throw that one out there just to clarify. All right. Again, talking about, parental, those kind of things. So you can take a look at this. I am going to be talking about pronouns, and I am going to be talking more about MX, the honorific. And you can even have a sticker that says, I'm an LGBTQ friendly business. I add the plus Some people don't like the plus. Some people add in the IA. Here's the thing, just be nice to gay people. That's the main thing to take away from that. And this is also fun. If you want to, this is why Andy said, maybe you can write something down. I'm kind of old school. If you go to pride.google, oh yes. Now, Google doesn't pay me any money. I just wanted to say this is kind of fun, okay? Oh my gosh, Melissa, I love that you have Pride hockey jerseys on the people behind you. That is fabulous. Good on ya. Okay, so back to Google, tools and resources for LGBTQ friendly businesses, something like this. You could actually add to your site, LGBTQ friendly, trans friendly, because that's going to be the next wave that's coming forward, my friends, is this space inclusive of our friends who are trans or gender nonconforming? For example, if Jonathan Van Ness from Queer Eye walked into your space. So Jonathan Van Ness, who you might not know, thanks Nick for putting that in there. I appreciate you, fabulous friend. Jonathan Van Ness has facial hair, usually wears something feminine, right? And so he walks in, he's very rich, by the way. They are very rich. How would you respond to that person? Or think about if people have phone calls still and someone has a low voice. Are your frontline staff trained to say, hello, friend, or whatever term you want to use rather than going to the sir, madam, etc.? So spreading love, that's there. Angie, I would hug them too. So that's would be way exciting. So if you go to pride.google, thank you, Nick, for putting that in there. Another resource that is fabulous, my friends, are talking about pronouns. And this is one of the best that I have seen, and it comes to us from the credit union movement. And I am so proud to say that I know many of these people who are in this. This will tell you why pronouns matter and how to help your business be that place where people are seen, supported, and understood.
Every day, our brain makes unconscious assumptions to help us make decisions. Many times, those assumptions help us move quickly through our day-to-day activities. They help us quickly recognize danger, social cues, and emotions. But they can also create assumptions that may be incorrect or harmful to those around you.
Recognizing how assumptions are not always correct helps the brain reorganize our unconscious decisions and helps us recognize people for their authentic selves. Understanding how assumptions can be made about gender and using the correct personal pronouns for each other can help us feel seen, supported, and understood, and help us create an inclusive environment for all.
When my pronouns are used incorrectly, I feel vulnerable and sometimes invisible. I am constantly evolving in my expression and understanding of myself and how I show up in the world. My name is Sam, and I've experienced gender and pronouns in different ways throughout my life. My pronouns are they, them, or he, him, in that order. As a transmasculine person,
I want to let you know, especially with my friend Sam. So this sometimes gets confused, and Tim, maybe this will help a little bit when we're talking about pronouns. So Sam said in that order. So again, my pronouns are she, her. I have them in my Zoom window that you can take a look at. How people have their pronouns is how they would like you to refer to them. And so Sam says they, them is first, then you would use they, them. And it might be, I haven't asked Sam this question, but it might be that they, them is for the general public. Once you get to know Sam, then Sam is giving you permission to use those. And so what I want to give to you is, again, you don't question that. If someone has they, you go with they. And it's not easy. You might have to practice it, and that's okay. So Tim, I just wanted to stop that and confirm your message in the chat, my friends. We're going to carry on. Well, let's finish the video, and then if there are more pronoun questions, my friends, do feel free. You can put them in the chat or whatever you'd like. Thank you for your patience. Here we go.
using the correct pronouns helps me feel seen for the person that I am today.
When my pronouns are used incorrectly, I feel disengaged from the conversation. As someone who identifies as genderqueer, non-binary, I've struggled with feeling seen and validated in both my personal and professional life. My name is Dan. Throughout my life, I've never felt like I fit into the box of male or female gender. My pronouns are they, them. Using pronouns that match my gender identity and gender expression help me feel supported by those around me.
When my pronoun is used correctly, I feel overlooked and
Hey folks, this is Andy from DreamBank. Bear with me for a few moments here while I try and find Lisa. See if she... Oh. Looks like Angela got kicked at her house as well, so I'm wondering if they're going to be logging back on here. Bear with me just for a few more moments. There's Lisa.
Hi, how fun is that? Okay. Oh my gosh, my apologies to your friends. I'm glad you're still here because we're running around like bananas over here. Here's what's fun. I actually stopped the video where Lindsay was talking. So let's jump in. Hey, are there any questions while I'm pulling this up? I would love to answer any questions. Okay, how about a thumbs up? What do we see? Are we good? Thanks, Lorenzo. You're swell.
Let me feel supported by those around me.
Thank you, Melissa.
when my pronouns are used incorrectly, I feel overlooked and misunderstood. Based on the way that I've presented throughout my life, my clothes, my hair, I've often been misgendered. And that creates an expectation that I have to look a certain way to demonstrate my gender and who I am as a person. My name is Lindsay, my pronouns are she, her, and when others use my pronouns correctly, I feel understood.
In an increasingly digital world, it's easy to make assumptions. And we often are missing that in-person element that helps us truly relate and connect with one another. Chances are, at one point in our lives, we've assumed gender or incorrectly used pronouns. If you don't know, ask. And if you make a mistake, correct yourself, move on, and get it right next time. My name is Brandy, and I passionately believe that all people deserve to be recognized as their authentic self. My pronouns are she, her. Sharing my pronouns and allowing others the space to share theirs will help create inclusion.
Understanding another person's experience may not be inherently easy. So here are some ways to avoid assumptions and be a better ally. When in doubt, share your pronouns first and open the door for others to share theirs. Add your personal pronouns to your email signature, LinkedIn account, or simply share an introduction when you're meeting someone new. These are just a few simple ways that you can demonstrate inclusion. Continue to learn and educate yourself about others' lived experiences and how using someone's correct pronouns can help them feel seen, supported, and understood.
Yay, absolutely. Okay, so I have this question. Let's see. I don't know if this will work. There it is. So there is the YouTube link for you, my friends. Thank you, Christine, for asking for that. put together again by my friends at the credit union movement. They would be delighted to help spread the message about pronouns and like examples of how to use they, them. Absolutely. And if hopefully I'm saying your name correctly, Torrence, maybe it's Torrance. I don't want to put the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable. So an example of they, yay, hooray. So they, them. Yep. Here's an example. So let's say that I left my cell phone at your office, Torrance. Okay. So my cell phone is there. Someone might come along and say, I wonder if they're going to come and pick up their cell phone. I wonder if they know that they left it here. And Torrance, I will tell you that it's hard. It's not easy to do. And the other thing is, for those of you who might have a degree in English or language arts, or all about hey, this is singular. Yeah. And guess what? You've probably been using it this way for a long time too. 2019, it was the most looked up word in the English language. So Merriam and Webster, I don't know if it's the same person, put it in the dictionary. So it is there, it is singular. And the thing too is that if for some reason you mess up, you just say, I'm sorry, I'll do better next time. So Torrance, I hope that I helped with that example. And the other thing too is sometimes it could even be that I would use someone's name. So maybe I don't know what their pronouns are. So how I was taught was Lisa went to Lisa's car to get Lisa's keys in order for Lisa to drive away. So that would be that. But when we talk about showing our, look at that. Thank you, Brian. Jane and Emily were ahead of the curve on their pronoun usage. In my email signature, my friends, which I have up for you right now, I have the words, what's this, after my pronouns, and it links to mypronouns.org. Someone then can look up more information on pronouns. The one thing that I will say for all of you in business right now, and especially if you're the boss, you're going to like this. I am never a fan of mandating putting email signatures into a work email, not mandating. I'm highly encourage it. I encourage it, especially if it comes from the higher ups. If they have their pronouns there, you are being inclusive, you are letting people know. But for other people, it might not be safe. So not mandating. But then going back to, I also have, if you look at my name, I have she, her after my name in my Zoom window. And you can do that quickly, but just by clicking those three dots in the upper right-hand corner, going to rename, putting in your pronouns if you choose. You don't have to do that right now. There's no test. So again, mypronouns.org is there. People can take a look at it. Here's another fun thing when it comes to pronouns is that you can also probably give a nod to your alma mater if you went to a university, because they probably have an LGBT center on campus. And then if you link to them, maybe they'll give you money. Maybe there's an endowment. But I'm saying a lot of universities have these resources as well. So that would be something to consider. Now we get into the MX. This is going to be a new title or honorific that you're going to be seeing coming forward. Rather than using Mr., Mrs., Ms., as you can see in the better column right there. This could be your registration forms, application forms, etc. And if you want to add it, great. Again, not mandating it by any stretch. And I also like the let me type to make it custom, right? Because right there, there's no doctor or anything on there. That's great. This could also be for pronouns as long as it's safe. So I just want to keep that in mind. You know, some people are like, yeah, I want to have my pronouns listed because my name is Pat. No one knows how to refer to me. And if you want a really fun Saturday Night Live skit, just look up It's Pat, okay, for androgyny. All right. See, I'm 53. I'm old. I watched all the old Saturday Night Live skits. There you go. Oh, yay. Amy says, I love when businesses have MX as an option. It's pronounced mix. That's how I pronounce it. Definitely defaulted to my husband signing up for things because I don't want to choose something that makes me uncomfortable. Amy, thank you for that. That's wonderful. And another thing to keep in mind, my friends, is that as we move forward, it actually is legal this summer that passports are going to be changing gender markers. So what that means is on a passport, your gender marker might be M for male, F for female, and now you can do an X. X does not mean the person is intersex. So I know I talked about that earlier, but I'm just letting you know that X can represent whatever that friend who put X in. So you don't have to like go into a whole big, what are you talking about? Just go with it. You're like, that's cool. And in Wisconsin, they are in conversations for having gender markers on driver's license, also having X. So, and I'm not sure what it is. Canada, do you have this already? My friends who are joining us from Canada or my friend from the UK? I'd be curious.
We do here in Manitoba for sure.
In Manitoba. So if I were to get a driver's license, April, do you know, do I have to show any paperwork?
We've recently changed our legal name and gender change process. So you do, in order to have that on your ID, you do have to undergo the legal gender marker change. But once you've completed that, then you can have it on all your ID.
April, did you know that you were going to be a guest speaker on my show today?
I was not aware.
You are wonderful, my friend. In fact, I will send you a free book to you. I will get your address after this, my friend. So thank you for that. So again, yep, globally, this is going to be something that you're going to be seeing coming up in the future. So again, if you want to be that progressive company who's out in front of the pack, this would be something to think about. So then I get asked the question, well, how do I do this? Great question. All right. So Forbes says there are lots of lists that are out there. 64% of Americans are likely to buy from LGBTQ inclusive companies. That's Angela and I will tell you that. Now, I will also, you'll have this recording. I know this is a lot to take in right now, but I'll be buzzing through these to create a safe place, hire leadership, train. When it comes to hiring leadership, don't just put the token gay person in charge. Okay. And like, you don't always have to just ask the gay person, like, what do you want to do for pride? I mean, I love it and I'll help and stuff, but try not to tokenize everyone. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. Staff with volunteer hours, training, etc. Everybody call April in Canada because April knows a lot of what's April. I'm just kidding. Maybe we'll go on the road together. That would be fun. Donate causes that affect your community, research, and hire LGBT suppliers. Oh, what's that? I'm glad you asked. I am a certified LGBT business enterprise. So I am certified from the National Gay and Lesbian Chamber of Commerce to do what I do. Again, my apologies for those of you not in Wisconsin, but just know that in your state, in your region, in your country, wherever you are, there are resources out there. And here's where you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You could go to some of these places, some of these companies and be like, oh, okay, I get that. Or wouldn't it be wonderful if you wanted to change where you buy some of your materials rather than a big box store? Maybe you're saving, a few $100s. Wouldn't it be great to put it back into the community and buy from even an LGBT owned business? So here are some resources. The Our Lives magazine in the middle right there. I will tell you that my wife and I literally go through that magazine and say, here's where we're going to spend our money. So we are giving back to those who put their ads in there. I'm a member of the Wisconsin LGBT Chamber. Same idea there, that if I want to work with anyone, I'm trying to have an audiobook. So I'm going to go to a member of the chamber to help me with that. And then it's fun because across the state of Wisconsin, which is very rural, we do have different resources that are out there. Here's some national resources. Yay, for people not in Wisconsin. Here we go. So I talked about the National LGBT Chamber. So you can find businesses in your area. There is a gay and lesbian directory, because why wouldn't we have one? Because that's who we are. Some people are, I'm an LGBT elder, I was told, so I'm bringing out information. And this is also, if you have people, maybe family members, and they need to know that it's safe, because we're going to need those services. So that is Sage right there. Trevor is the nation's leading suicide prevention hotline, chat line, text line, And by the end of this presentation, they'll probably have a TikTok line. I'm just saying. So Trevor is out there if you need resources for that. And then PFLAG, one of the best out there, Parents and Friends of Lesbians and Gays. If you want to have someone who has gone through all of the hoops to do what they needed to do for their kid and keep that kid alive, that is a fabulous resource for you. Human Rights Campaign. Wonderful. This is my first go-to when I look for things on the legal side. And here's what's fun. They actually have indices. Oh, look at how fancy I am. For the world of business, the world of healthcare, and if you are maybe in a municipality. So I have screenshots for you. These are free, FREE resources for you, dear business community, where you can take a look. And if you want to just start with the CEI, the Corporate Equality Index, it has, I think there are 20 or 25 questions, and it will ask you things like, do you have your policies enumerated out to include sexual orientation, gender identity, gender expression, and gender expansion is going to be the next one that's coming forward. How are your facilities? What is your training like? So there's that for your corporate business. Even if you're a small business, you can do it too. You don't have to be a corporate business. Okay. So you can take a look at those questions. Same thing for healthcare. What are your facilities like? And then we have the municipal. What is your city? Is your city welcoming? Because you want to be able to put that best places to work up right there. Now, truth in advertising is that in order to have one of those best places to work, I think your business has to have, I think, over 250 employees. So I know that you're a small business, and letting you know that even if you have the Wisconsin LGBT Chamber up there, it's $175 to join the chamber. There's my little plug right there. That's why we have our money at the credit union, because they had that rainbow sticker there. Meredith asked a question in the chat. What is gender expansion as a protected class? Thank you for asking that, my friend. So gender expansion is being used by, again, people who are younger than me to envelop and have the umbrella that it's not, you know what, it's not an identity, it's not an expression, we're just who we are. So I know that isn't the best explanation up there, Meredith, and I'm okay if you Google it too. You're not going to hurt my feelings. If you do, and my apologies that I didn't give you all, but I am hearing it from younger people who are thought leaders in our movement. So I just wanted to bring it up just to give you that idea. Thank you for asking that question. I guess I will ask any other questions. I do have some other things that I can show to you, because we all know I have the gift of gab. And for those of you watching the recording, again, lisa.koenecke@gmail.com. All right, well, let's move on. If people do have questions, feel free to jump in, my friends. Here's another way to look at research, and it's from Out and Equal and Workplace Pride. You can fill the leadership pipeline, and here are some bullet points for you to take a look at. One of the things that I would love to highlight are ERGs, employee resource groups, or affinity groups, or business resource groups, whatever title you want to have, because if people feel that they can fully belong in your workplace, they won't be, ready for this statistic, part of the 67% who are actively disengaged. So this is where, you know, I will tell you, when I was a school counselor and when I was looking for schools, I would look at their mission statement. And if sexual orientation wasn't enumerated out, now granted, this was 15 years ago, I didn't want to work there. In fact, I was offered a job the same day at 2 different school districts. One had sexual orientation enumerated out, the other one didn't. Guess where I went? So that way I knew that the kids would be safe. So an employee resource group is a great thing to have, and it's wonderful if your leadership buys into it. It's one thing if you're just grassroots and you're doing all of this stuff, and that's great. If your leadership buys in, it makes even a bigger statement. Here are the expectations, talking about things. I'm a big fan of training. Oh, like me, you could hire me. I'm a business enterprise to come and speak to your business, hypothetically speak. Okay, so you get the idea. And then educating and being nice about it. If someone messes up, don't throat punch them. That's not making for a nice culture in your business. No, just be like, hey, you know what? I think their pronouns are whatever it might be. Okay, so that's the inclusive language, etc. So then we get into our policies. This, my friends, might not take any money. And maybe this is where your business wants to start, is just taking a look at, you know what, are things enumerated out? How do we fill in the blank? Maybe you don't have anyone in this population right now, but I guarantee you, if you are a business of choice, soon people will be looking at you. And maybe if they're not coming to you, maybe this is where you can change some things. Okay. I'm a big fan of all gender restrooms. I'm also a big fan of making sure that diaper changing stations are in all of those, because sorry, friends who were assigned male at birth, you can change diapers too. Okay, I just want to put that one out there. All right, then another thing is taking a look at your branding. Oh, we're going to get into rainbow washing and pink washing in just a moment. And so again, we're talking about how do we do this? You know, I want you to be at the Pride Parade. I want you to be marching with us. And I want you to also know that it's more than just once a year. This morning I spoke for US Cellular. And so another thing that they have as their commitment to diversity is in their supplier diversity. So again, it's going to be hiring people of color. It's going to be hiring our trans community, whatever it might be, to say, yeah, this is our commitment, because rainbow washing is a true thing. Not sure what this term is? Go ahead and read it right there. Some people jump on the gay bandwagon. $3.7 trillion. And they're like, oh, yes, let's put a rainbow on it because Lisa said. I don't think they're saying that, because I really would probably give them business with a rainbow on it, because we gays, we sniff that out. But I'm just saying, you don't want to be that way. Oh, here we go. This might be offensive to some of you, so don't raise your hand or anything else. But true or false, these are LGBT friendly companies. Nope. Thanks, Tim. That's right. So on the left, that is an example of rainbow washing. The ones on the right. Okay, that's not rainbow washing. They're just, I hissed, by the way, in case you weren't sure what was happening right there. So one of the things that I will tell you is Chick-fil-A and Hobby Lobby are actively engaged against our community. They give, whether it is in your community, it's not that way. All I can tell you is that being a member of the LGBT community and having people give money to want you killed and legislated against, it's hard. And so we don't do anything with Chick-fil-A, and we don't do anything with Hobby Lobby as well. So that is just, I'm going to move on. I'm going to go to pink washing. Okay. Now, pink washing. Okay. I'm going to do Meredith's question first, and then you can read about pink washing while I'm reading Meredith's question.
We moved past the relevant part of the conversation when you mentioned bathrooms. So if you want to come back to that at the end, it's totally fine.
Oh my gosh. No, Meredith, my friend, I want to jump into bathrooms, because if you have the question, someone else might have it. Oh my gosh, look, it's the next slide. Meredith, go.
You want me to read what I wrote?
Sure, because those on, yeah, please.
Okay, so I support all gender bathrooms because of the gender binary it's made up.
Yep.
But I also know that white women have a history of falsely accusing Black men of sexual assault.
Yep.
So I'm wondering, how do we protect Black men in an all-gender bathroom where it would be very easy to accuse one of being a predator or assaulting someone?
Yep, that's an excellent question, Meredith. And what I might do is I would probably consult in your area the local LGBT lawyer's office or whatever it might be, and ask them what is their advice. Is it going to be that you post a little disclaimer that says all are welcome in here? If you're not feeling safe, contact, and that could be for either side too, right? So we're also looking at those who don't feel safe. And eventually we are going, I don't know why I'm doing this. And eventually we are going to get into those conversations. But I think that you want both sides to know that it is that they should feel safe where they are. And if you don't have the option of a single stall lock, if you can potentially do that as a restroom, I don't know what your costs are, but that might be something else. But thank you for bringing that forward, because that truly is something that we want to be considerate of and think about. Because here's the thing, my friends, I don't know about you, but I don't want to do anything in the guy's bathroom. Okay, no offense out there, but I don't want to see okay, so you know what that is. But Meredith, thank you for bringing that up. And my guess is that there are businesses out there who already have this established. And oh, this is so good. So Tim asked a question, do all gender only serve one person at a time? No, not necessarily. In fact, if you grew up in a household where you had brothers and sisters, everyone used the all gender restroom. If you've ever gone to a concert or a big event, they have porta potties. So, and I don't mean to make fun of that, but I'm just letting you know, if you can have a single stall locked bathroom, that's going to help. And again, to answer my friend Meredith's question, just something out there. You also don't want to walk up to the person of color who you think is trans and be like, hi, here's a safety card in case you need to call someone. So, but I think having the conversation with everyone involved is going to be important. And we can talk more about that too. So thank you, Meredith, for bringing that up. Okay. And then back to pink washing. So real quickly, I know we're running out of time. So BRILLA, if you are in Wisconsin, you call it Barilla or Berea, however you want to call it. So at one point, the owner of the pasta company said, we're not going to do anything for LGBT, said, yes, we need to. And then, it was a facade. So that's what pink washing is. And again, there's not a test on any of that information. My friends, I am here, and yes, you can get my book. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel. What? You want more of this for free and you're not a relative of mine? That'd be great. Sign up, because I am reading a chapter a day from my book, Be an Inclusion Ally, the ABCs of LGBTQ+. And April, I desperately need to get your mailing contact information. Maybe we can be friends on LinkedIn or something so I can mail you a free book. There we go, to Canada on that. And I'm looking at Victoria. It's much more common outside of the States to find all gender restrooms. Yes, absolutely it is. So if you want to go across the pond or up north, you could do that. Oh, thank you. EMALEE. I think it's Emily. I want to say that correctly. That's wonderful.
Yep, that's right.
Yay. Excellent. Any tips on changing perceptions and attitudes of the older workforce? Choose your battles. And the other thing with the older workforce, if you can't have them understand anything about the gay stuff, find out what their cause is. Maybe they know someone who died of cancer. So then if you can find that soft spot, you start bringing in different examples of, wouldn't it be great if we could, whatever it is. And then eventually bring in, you know what, these people are non-threatening. I'm happy to give more information, but I would go over time. So wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. There's my contact information if I can help with anything. Andy, I'm going to invite you back to the show, my friend, to wrap us up.
Thanks so much for that, Lisa. Wonderful job there. And I appreciate you taking time out of your day to join us here and share that knowledge. I want to thank everyone also for tuning into this event today. Greatly appreciate that. There are a couple links that I wanted to share with you folks as also. One thing that I forgot to mention at the beginning is, DreamBank has several pillars in which we operate under, the largest one being the events that we put on. So we have 9 distinct event series at DreamBank, anything ranging from small business and entrepreneurial workshops to inspiration, motivation, motivational speaker series. So really trying to cast a wide net in terms of appealing to as many different dreamers as possible. In addition to those 9 distinct event series, we also honor certain cultural and historically relevant months and moments throughout the year. So obviously we have a handful of things going on for Pride, but Juneteenth is also happening. We've got a wonderful event later this afternoon with Zernona Clayton. Zernona was really kind of on the ground level for the civil rights movement that happened in the early 60s with her husband, and several other individuals. So she will be speaking today at 3 p.m. at DreamBank, free event as well. She's 91 years old and has a plethora of knowledge and insights. So very excited for that event. Wanted to go ahead and link our upcoming events though. That's a great concise list of what we have coming up at DreamBank. And then I also want to go ahead and share with you our YouTube page. So I did receive a handful of questions as the presentation was going on, asking about recordings. We do record our events, and this event will be should be aired about a week after the fact as well too. On our YouTube page. So I have that link right there. And that also houses all of our content that we've been really putting out since the end of March of 2020 till about current. So great stuff on there. You know, Lisa, as we kind of wrap up here, we are a community that is built up of fellow fearless dreamers. And we always like to ask our speakers, what is one piece of advice you have for someone who's actively pursuing a dream right now?
If you are pursuing a dream, do it. Life is short. I wanted to write a book. I didn't think that it was going to happen. You all have a book in you, whatever your dream is, my friend, and surround yourself with those who will champion you. Get rid of the naysayers. Do it.
Thank you for that, Lisa. Thank you all again. So great that all of you could join us here. We will go ahead and cap it there, and we will see you all next time. Take care, folks.